Welcome to eMTB videos. This is the 2019 Canyon Neuron on 5.0. At 3,299 euros, it's the cheapest of the Neuron models. The spec is pretty good. It's a 130mm travel 29er bike with a nice dropper post, solid Shimano MT500 brakes, and a reasonably wide 760mm handlebar. It's got top-of-the-line Schwalbe 2.6-inch tires with the speed grip compound. It's got an e-bike specific saddle with a back end that tilts up. It's supposed to add support on steep climbs, and it does. Not everyone likes this saddle, but I do, and I think it works well on this bike. I'm less happy about it on more aggressive bikes though. The motor system is the Shimano E8000 with the E7000 display. I like this display. It's compact and very easy to connect the eTube apps with a smartphone. The battery is the old 500 Wh one from Shimano. As you no doubt have noticed, this bike has an externally mounted battery. Why has Canyon opted for an external battery on a new for 2019 eMTB? The short answer is to keep weight and cost down. This bike is 23.16 kilos included proper flat pedals. The frame appears to be shaped using hydroforming. It does not appear to have been cut. The down tube is pretty slim under the battery, so Canyon welded on braces to keep the frame stiff. There are a few odd choices of components though. Why did they go for an old 10-speed Shimano XT derailleur and an 1136 cassette? The newer Deore M6000 derailleur is also 10-speed and it comes with an 1142 cassette giving it lower gearing. Also, Canyon picked the RockShox Recon fork. The stanchions on this fork is 32mm. That's not much and you will notice some flex. And for some reason the bike has got 180mm disc brake rotors front and rear. 203mm rotors are pretty much the standard for eMTBs. But it seems Canyon has a reason for making these choices. They're saving a bit of weight, and the components are sort of defining what this bike is all about. This is not their hardcore, aggressive trail bike. This is a bike for lighter trail riding, and this USB port makes perfect sense on such a bike. I would never put my phone on the handlebars of an aggressive trail bike, but I could on this bike, and I would run the Shimano eTube Ride app. The Neuron On is perfect for getting out and enjoying the scenery while pedaling calmly. But then again, you don't need to spend several thousand euros on an e-bike to do that. So what else is this bike good at? Looking at the geometry, we find the head angle is 67.5 degrees. Not very slack by today's standards, but perfect for a less aggressive bike. The chainstays are 440mm. That's on the shorter end of what I consider normal, so it may or may not be a great climber. It turns out it's very good at climbing, and it beats the more aggressive Canyon Spectral on the steep climbs where traction is good. The wide 29er tires give confidence on the descents. On lighter trails, it's as fast as any bike, especially in dry conditions. But when hitting the rough sections, it can't keep up with the more aggressive bikes. The fork has to take a lot of blame for that. At higher speeds, the Recon fork can't keep up. The suspension feels stiff and the ride becomes so shaky it's difficult to pick a line. That's not really a problem though. This is not what this bike was built to do. If you like descending on rougher trails, you should be buying a more aggressive trail bike. Sure, you get better performance by picking the Neuron On 6.0 or 7.0 with 34mm stanchion Fox forks. Those bikes are most likely better on aggressive trails. When riding in wet conditions, the more aggressive bikes will usually have an even bigger advantage. The Neuron On 5.0 is pretty versatile. It's comfortable and all you need for touring style riding. It will do it all but the more technical trails.